You will never look like your goals, but you will always look like your habits. I've realized after setting up so many goals over every year, every season of my life, there's points to where I'm looking at these goals and it's not necessarily that I don't believe that I'll achieve them, but there is a possibility that I won't achieve all of my goals. Sometimes goals change, sometimes ideas change as well. Sometimes even just what you have planned for your life, whatever God has planned for you, nigga, shit changes. So it always feels difficult to try to achieve those goals because of these obstacles that might get in the way, or even just what life is like. So recently, a lot of people have been talking about the great lock-in. Like this is the final quarter of the year. This is the time for everyone to lock in and do what they need to do before the new year starts so that we can have momentum going into 2026. And it's always around September. People say it's the last quarter. I think they mean that figuratively because technically that's the third of the year, the last 4 months of the year, so that's 1/3 of the year. But besides the point, usually once it gets to actually the last quarter of the year, that is when everyone is trying to lock in or wants to lock in, because this is a time to focus and give yourself momentum going into 2026. What is it that we're going to do that is going to help propel us into 2026? Personally, for myself as a creative, I feel like creating systems is what will help me do better as a creative. And I think this will help a lot of creatives as well, because I see that we'll set goals, but we're not really setting up systems or processes to actually help us achieve these goals, right? If I decide to create a goal that says like, hey, I'm gonna go to the gym 3 times a week, now we're a couple of weeks later and I still haven't gone to the gym. Okay, I didn't necessarily make a plan for how I'll be showing up in the gym. Am I going to go before work? Am I going after work? What is going to be my process to make sure that I can fit in this time to go to the gym, right? That is an example of like what I'm trying to really focus in on and trying to understand as a creative is what processes work well for me and how will I make these processes work for me, right? Instead of goals, we're creating systems. Instead of goals, we are creating habits. Instead of goals, we're creating processes. These are the things that I feel like will help me. I've seen it help me in the past, so I think I just need to double down on how I create my process, or like what my process is, and that will help me catapult into 2026. Nigga, we was outside this summer. I ain't gonna lie, we was outside. But now it's time to focus up. Before we go into that, I'm gonna grab some water. Drink some water, y'all. I'll be back, hold on. I actually have bottled water. But if you have a water bottle, drink out that water bottle. If you have tea, drink that tea. Lock it. Before we continue on, it's your brother Chewy. Yeah, we have to get that one out there. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be cutting out like a lot of negativity and like how I talk about myself. I'm not a negative person in the flesh, but I think there is definitely this thought process that I have as a creative and creating these systems that I just start to think negatively about myself. And I'm just like, oh, I'm not this, I'm not that. Like, even for example, I say I don't have a good voice when it comes to like talking. Some people disagree with that. I think that right now, I am not the greatest speaker. Like I can speak, I can yap, I can talk to people all day. Like I'm a yapper for real. Like I got the yapping quirk. It is what it is. But when I listen to myself, I don't necessarily love listening to myself. I have to learn to love listening to myself. I've been creating videos for such a long time, and I'm comfortable in front of the camera. I just don't enjoy listening to myself. Y'all get it. The ones who get it, get it. And when it comes to these goals that I have set or that we're going to set, those goals that you had in the past that you were not able to do, that was the old you. Leave that creative in the past. It has helped create who we are now, but we have to accept who that person was in the past to move forward. And who that person in the past is not who we are going to be in the future. So take that negativity. We are taking that negativity out of our minds. Yep, and take it out. See, I brought it around. It came back and tried to get back in. I took it out. We are no longer relying on motivation and willpower. We're not going to allow motivation to push our creativity, whether that's with film, paint, whatever medium you are as an artist. If you're creating online, we're not going to allow motivation to be our only source of fuel. Mind you, it is a piece of fuel, but we're not going to be reliant on that fuel for our processes or to reach these goals. We have to be dedicated to the process that we are creating so that the goal can be reached, right? If we are always relying on motivation, motivation is very fleeting and it is not consistent. It is not consistent. So we cannot have something that is inconsistent trying to push us towards a goal, because we won't ever get to our goals, because goals, to reach them, we need consistency. I need consistency to get to my goals, and that is what I'm going to provide. To reach this objective, we need to have a plan. For me, I want to post at least once a week on YouTube for the next 90 days, 100 days, I think that's it, 3 months, around 3 months or so, right? I want to post a video every week on YouTube. In the month of October, I'm going to be posting 2 videos a week. Now that, right now for me, that is a hefty goal. That is the objective. That is a simple objective. Now I need to create a plan for this objective that I have. Now, if you're out there at home doing this for yourself, create, your objectives, because we need a goal, so we need something to drive to, but we need to build our vehicle. The vehicle that we have is what's going to help us get to our goal. I have so many different mediums, but being online as an online creative, I have a goal of posting on YouTube once a week. October, it's gonna be twice a week. November, it's gonna go back to once a week. And then we're gonna continue that momentum throughout the rest of the year, through December. Quick math, 4 times 4 is 16. So we wanna have 16, 24. Okay, we wanna have 22 to 24 videos by the end of the year. That is the goal, 22 to 24 videos by the end of December. When New Year's hit, I should have around 22 to 24 videos up on this YouTube channel. When we're trying to figure out this plan, for our objective, we gotta look at what has worked in the past and what hasn't worked, what got in the way. We're trying to figure out what were these obstacles that were troubling us and what were assisting us when we were trying to achieve these goals in the past. I'm gonna continue to use the idea of YouTube for me and creating content, because that is something that I've currently been focusing on. So my personal branding online, and that'll push into my me as a business, or me as a cinematographer, and my business growing a production company. Because I feel like that is very simple to grasp at least for me right now. You guys can use your own stuff, and we'll work on some examples. I think those examples will help. And I'm also trying to figure out these systems and processes that will help me as a creative. So we're gonna be working through this together, y'all. We're working through this together. I got this whiteboard, this really big whiteboard that's right next to me. Y'all can't see it, but it will be installed in the studio, and it'll be right up here behind me so I can help plan it out when I do have it. So what has worked for me in the past when it's come to creating YouTube content, there was a stretch of time for like a month straight, I was able to post 1 video a week, and I was seeing consistent viewership. And what really worked well was I had most of that stuff filmed prior to my trip, and I also knew what I was going to be filming beforehand. So there was some more pre-production, and I said this before in a past video that when I have done pre-production, it has gone well. When I have planned out what I wanted to shoot and what I want to write out or create, it has done well. So I'm currently going to San Francisco in October, and I know I'll be filming a lot. Like, I'm gonna be out there, bam, 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 bam. I'm gonna be filming, like, whoop, shoot, whoop, 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 everything. And everything. I love traveling to new places and then just popping my camera out and recording everything I see. And it's not even because like I'm taking myself away from the moment. Sometimes there is moments like that, but when I'm traveling, I just enjoy so much, and I enjoy capturing, and I enjoy documenting, that I'm like, this is so much fun. Like, this is vacation right now. I have no problem putting down the camera and living in a moment, but I also enjoy filming stuff. So I'm going to film like this. I love doing this the same way I love dancing. Like, I'm going to dance everywhere I go if I can. So the plan for the trip is I'm going to have probably a sit down talk video, and then I'm also going to have a vlog of what I did during those couple days or during that week, so that I can actively be creating while I'm in San Francisco for like that week, but I know that I can put together more videos while I'm out there. I think that will help me just understand how to plan out my content, because I'll be in LA and San Francisco. If you're on Instagram, I'll put a poll up, decide, hey, do we want to do a long trip vlog, one for San Francisco, one for LA, or do we want to do one that is episodes, right? What has gotten in my way in the past has been motivation. Motivation, even though I was motivated to create, after the motivation ran out, I did not really create. Like, obviously y'all saw on the page, y'all didn't see no videos. So I need to figure out how I'm going to create more videos without motivation. And I think part of that is writing down my ideas. Once I have my ideas written down, it's just going and creating it. You have to also realize what could stop you from creating. What could stop you from achieving these goals or this objective that you have? What is going to get in the way that we know that has happened in the past, or what can happen in the future? For me, and I don't even work a 9-to-5, it's just the idea that I have a lot of projects. So because I have a lot of projects that may show up, that means I have to edit. That's a lot of time just me sitting down. And when you've been editing, you don't necessarily want to go film and go edit another video, right? I've been looking at a screen for 6-7 hours, maybe 8. I don't want to continue looking at a screen anymore. What am I going to do personally that's going to get rid of these obstacles, or what I'm going to do to move around these obstacles that I know will show up? We want to be aware of these. We have the controllable, we have our control, we have the controllables and the uncontrollables. What is it that we can control? And what are some uncontrollables that can happen that we may not have a lot of control over, but we want to control as much of the controllables. I know I can control how much work gets in. Now, because of that, I also know I need to pay bills. So there's a point where I'm like, I can't necessarily say no to this project, but what am I going to prioritize? I think that is something that I'm going to have to break down and understand. What is it that I'm going to be prioritizing within my own life? And what are we going to prioritize in our lives to make these goals happen? Is this repeatable? With the system that we're creating, can it be done on a good day? Can it be done on a bad day? We need to make sure that we're creating something that we know can be done on either good or bad days. Especially if it's a bad day, we want to know that I'm still able to do this. We also have to understand that as creatives, it is not sustainable to just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna just push through. That is not sustainable for us. At least that's not sustainable for everyone. I know I was able to do it a little bit, but that's because I grew up with like playing sports. So if you're someone who grew up in sports, there's a lot of just like push through it mentality. Having a push through and fucking mentality doesn't necessarily always work for everyone. And I'm also understanding that for myself, that there's parts of me that want to like, oh, I'm gonna just push through, but that is unhealthy. That's how we get to burnout. That's how we get to this every time, y'all. Every time. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up. Like, if you made it this far, like, you should already know at this point, I'm not giving up. I've shown I can be consistent doing other things because I've built processes and systems. If you saw me in Japan, I posted for 30 days straight on IG, y'all. Imagine if I put that effort and that consistency into a YouTube channel. It's so up. Like, it's so up. I need to just build a system. So continuing to build that system and understand that I have to be able to build a system that works on a good day and a bad day. What we need to do is find the right mix. It might feel a little bit uncomfortable, right? We don't want it to feel so uncomfortable that to the point where it's just like, this is stuff that I'm not able to do, right? The idea like this goes back to the idea that, oh, I cannot do this consistently, or I cannot do this repetitively, right? Now we go back, we figure out what our problem is, and then we're gonna try a new process. We wanna be able to make a plan, see if it's repeatable. If it's not repeatable, we go back to the plan, adjust something. And we're going into this circle. We're going into this circle and we're just going back and forth until we find something, okay, boom, this plan works. Now that we found out that it is repeatable, we understand that it is going to be uncomfortable. We are creating a new system, and there's gonna be things that are going to feel unnormal, right? Is unnormal a word? I believe unnormal is a word. In those moments, I have to think about, would I rather have discomfort or would I rather have disappointment in the fact that I was not able to achieve this goal again? I'm gonna take a little bit of discomfort so that I can achieve this goal. If I need to start adjusting some things and it's gonna be like, dang, I wish I could have done that, like, or I'm not as comfortable doing this, this is something new to me, that's okay. I'm gonna take that over the idea of being disappointed in the fact that I gave up on my dreams and ambitions and now I won't be able to do anything I want in the world. Like, I don't want to have that feeling at all. But even with that uncomfortability, we have to understand that we have to make a system that is smooth. We don't want to have something that is rigid and rough. We have to make this repeatable, y'all. We need to make this smooth. This process needs to be smooth. Once we've created a solid system, understand that there is going to be things that we're going to need to tweak and fix. Not necessarily, hey, we need to change the whole plan up. It's just like, hey, I'm not able to make it through the day because I need to take a nap. Okay, do we need to take a nap, or is there something in my diet, right? Is it the quality of sleep I'm getting at night? What is going to help me with my quality of sleep at night? Do I need to not look at my phone before I go to sleep? Maybe I need to change what I eat before I go to bed. Maybe I need to, whatever it is you need to do to change up something small. We don't need Band-Aids. Because remember, at the end of the day, we are creating new habits. These habits are going to be what help us reach these new goals. Remember, we're not changing big habits, we're changing these small ones. The small ones add up. Small ones, those are going to be what help us to reach these big goals. Whatever goals you have, they could be small to big, whatever it may be. Remember, we have small habits and we're changing them, because changing huge habits can mess up your whole plan, right? These small habits can help create bigger habits. If your objective is, for example, I want to be more clean, you set up, hey, in the morning, I'm going to make sure I make my bed, right? Okay, boom, you're doing that. Say, I'm also going to have Sundays are my cleaning days, boom, right? And now within your plan, you're starting to realize, okay, cool, Sundays, I'm not always home. We're gonna go back to our plan. We're gonna be like, okay, this is my objective, to clean, to have like a more cleanlier space. Now, if I'm not always able to do Sundays, okay, maybe I should do Saturdays. Okay, I'll try Saturdays. You go, okay, cool, this is actually smoother because I am probably consistently more home on Saturdays, or stuff does happen on Saturdays, but I can have more wiggle room, right? Or I'm able to push that back into later in the evening or earlier Saturday mornings, whatever it may be. You're adjusting that plan. Something that may be a small habit to help with that is like, hey, when I finish certain things, I'm just gonna put them back where they were. I'm just gonna clean it up in that moment. Maybe that adds up. Maybe that helps for you. Maybe if you're someone who's like, hey, I've been trying to do this, clean up small things after I'm done, it's not really working, but maybe at the end of the day, I go through and I just do a quick swipe through. I'm like, oh, I use this, toothbrushes, put those back, I'm gonna make my bed, whatever it may be. You have to understand how your life works and what are these small habits that you do. And it's like, oh my gosh, I never make my bed when I wake up. Okay, we're gonna figure out a way to incorporate a plan to change this small habit, because that can help lead up to being a just more cleanlier person. Maybe you do it after you brush your teeth, or maybe it's after breakfast, before you leave the crib. Do that instead of right as you wake up. Whatever it may be, that is how I'm trying to tackle my ideas. And with YouTube, I understand that I have a lack of consistency because one, I wouldn't have like solid ideas that I feel like I could build off of, and I was waiting on motivation. I'm not gonna wait on this motivation. I feel vlogging and talking is a way to it's something I can easily do, right? I'm already filming a lot, and sometimes I don't necessarily have time to like always set up the camera and stuff. So I'm also incorporating vlogs. So vlogs, sit down videos, but I would like to have more thoughtful ideas. and thoughtful videos. So my short films, I'm gonna continue to post those. BTS videos, love a good BTS video, and I love talking about my ideas behind project. These are ideas that I have. Now I just need to make sure that, okay, when I have a shoot, I'm going to film BTS, or I have my production assistant filming BTS. Now that I know that they're filming BTS, I have material for when I talk about it. Okay, boom, we got the material. So building these systems is going to be difficult, but I understand that I'll rather take a little bit of discomfort in building a system, and the system will cause discomfort rather than me being disappointed in what I have. Some other objectives that I have for myself before my camera dies. I want to read more. How I'm tackling that is, one, I got a book that I'm really excited to read, which is Kev On Stage's book, Successful Failures. I'm excited to read that book. My relationship with reading has been a bit weird, and that's a whole nother video within itself. I'm not illiterate. I just do not enjoy reading as much. I used to really enjoy reading, but I wanted to get a book that I knew I was gonna enjoy. I read manga though. Outside of reading more, I do want to write as well more. I have been writing more. So I write about like once a week. It doesn't matter if that's like a YouTube video or writing out those ideas, or if it's journaling. I try to journal at least once a week. I've actually missed like a week or so we need to get back on top of that. I need to go back to my plan. I need to restructure it so I can build a system that works. What are some other things that this is why I need that whiteboard. That whiteboard's gonna be there. The goal is to post 3 times a week on Instagram. I've been doing that pretty consistently. I probably only have 1 week where it was 2. But I post about 3 times a week on Instagram. I need to post on YouTube once a week. October, it's gonna be twice a week. I need to build out that plan for like what I film in San Francisco, so that I know what I'm gonna be filming out there, as well as what I'm gonna film when I get back. These are big things that I'm trying to think of and build out systems for. And I'm going to use anything that's gonna be YouTube related right here. Road to 100K. Actually, it doesn't even say completely 100K. It says infinity. So it looks like 100, but that's an infinity. Because we are going above infinity. One infinity, one infinity, one infinity. We're going up and beyond wherever that path takes me. But I'm going to be putting together my own plans. And I think it's important as creatives to create these plans, because I feel like these will help you. If you're a procrastinator like me, creating these systems will definitely help out a lot more. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. I'll see you guys in the next one. And remember, just press record. It's as simple as that. Just press record and keep creating.